Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Ponds Forge International Swim Centre. This is the Speedo BUCS Swimming Series Long Course Swim Championships 2020, the first major university swimming championships of the new year. We're about 5 minutes away from the action, the first race in the pool. But before that, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank Speedo. BUCS are delighted to have Speedo as the supporting partners for the BUCS Nationals in 2020. We'll be referencing them throughout the weekend. But first, our first look at Speedo. Take a look at this. Welcome everyone, you've arrived just in time for Heat 1 in the first event of these championships. It's the mixed 4x100 relay. 2 men, 2 women, 3 heats. The top 10 times from the 3 heats will go through to the final. That will be swum this evening. 3 BUCS gold medals up for grabs in tonight's session. The men's and women's 1500s, there'll be heat declared winners. And the winner of this mixed 4x100. So away we go, 8 lengths to the 50-metre pool. In lane 1, closest to us, we have Oxford Brookes in 2, Bristol UWE, Kiel go in lane 3, Heriot Watt in 4, Southampton in 5, Queen Mary in 6, and London in 7 over on the far side. Currently in about 4th place, London. I don't have the names of the individuals. That will be rectified for the final, so we are just going on Academic Institute. And at the first 50-metre turn, it's Southampton in the lead, just ahead of Harriet Watt, 32.19 to 32.29. In 3rd place in lane 3, it's Kiel. In 4th, London. Remember, 3 heats and the top 10 times going through, so no such thing as a free swim. And these two teams in those gold rope lanes are really, really close start, and they put a bit of water between themselves and Kiel in 3rd place. The gap was 1.8 seconds after the first 50 metres. That'll be increased even further as lane 4 and lane 5, Harriet Watt and Southampton, make the changeover to the second leg, neck and neck. It is Kiel in 3rd place, but nearly 6 seconds. Southampton quickest through the first 100 metres in 107.64, 107.92 for Harriet Watt, 113.26 for Kiel. That is your top 3, and this is a good breaststroke leg here from Kiel, just starting to close the gap as Southampton are half a body length in front in lane 5. And these 3 really putting a gap between themselves and the rest of the field. But remember, it can all change in that freestyle 4th and final leg. And in these mixed relays, we can see massive swings in momentum, as we have here with Kiel, who've put a male swimmer on the breaststroke leg, and he's dragged them. They were 6 seconds behind after the first 100 metres, and they're going to change over at the halfway point in the lead here, Kiel. So it will be Kiel from Southampton, from Harriet Watt. London over there in lane 7, still in 4th place. And hot on their tracks in lane 2, UWE. But that takes us to the halfway point. Kiel change first, 2:23.70 the time. It's 2:28.54, so nearly 5 seconds ahead of Southampton. And now in lane 4, Harriet Watt change in 3rd place, but London doing very well to perhaps just sneak 3rd as we go into the butterfly leg. But look at this from Kiel. They've gone woman, man, man, woman. Is that the right order to do it in, to take the heat and give themselves a fast enough time to qualify for that final later on in this session? It is Kiel in lane 3, from Southampton in lane 5. It's very close for 3rd place between Harriet Watt in lane 4 and London in lane 7. But it is all about the times, and those teams in 3rd and 4th really do need to get their acts together if they're going to put a quick enough time together to get themselves to the final. So Kiel go into the final 100 metres with a very healthy lead. 100 metres of front crawl to go. Southampton into the pool for their final leg in 2nd place. Now here come Harriet Watt. Have they got a rocket to finish? He's got about 30 metres if he's going to eat up the lead that Kiel have eked out here in those middle 2 legs. But they're already closing in on 2nd place in lane 4 of Harriet Watt. So Kiel have turned. They should take this. In lane 1, Oxford BUCS are struggling. They're about 100 metres behind. Good swim from Southampton in lane 5 to stay in the slipstream in 2nd place, but it's going to be really close here. Harriet Watt powering through, and they're reeling in Kiel as well. This could be maybe a 40-metre swim down. You just don't get these. This is going to be a good time from Harriet Watt. Will it be quick enough to get to the final? Because Kiel are just going to take it. Harriet Watt just run out of pool. 4:28.72 for Kiel. That is the lead time. 4:30.65 for Harriet Watt. And a brilliant final 100 metres. And then 4:36.77 for Southampton in lane 5. And the final 2 teams finishing heat number 1 in lane 1, Oxford BUCS. In lane 6, Queen Mary. And everyone is home safely. Well, remember that time then, 4:28.72 from Kiel. That'll be the benchmark time going into the second heat of the mixed 4x1.
Here we go, heat 2.
A full house then in heat number 2. In lane 0, closest to us, go Cardiff Met, Reading in 1, Kent in 2, Nottingham in 3, Stirling in 4, Sheffield Hallam, the local club, in 5, Leeds Beckett in 6, Durham 7, Leeds 8, and York in lane 9. And those middle 3 lanes have flown out of the blocks. In 3, Nottingham, Stirling in 4, Sheffield Hallam in 5. Expecting Stirling and Sheffield Hallam to take home a whole host of medals in this competition, and they'll be looking to get the first in this 4x100 relay. Stirling, the first at the turn, 28.67, 28.72 for Sheffield Hallam. Those are the only 2 teams under that 29 second mark. Just towards the end of the 100 metres, Stirling dropping off, so it'll be Nottingham and Sheffield Hallam handing over at the first change, and this is where you mix it up. So we've got a man in the water for Sheffield Hallam and a woman in the water for Stirling and Nottingham. Just a reminder that I've not received the individual members of the team for any of these institutions, and that will be rectified come the final. Real buzz around this place. It's the first day of 3. A lot of expectation. A lot of support as well. I can see banners up for Kiel, for University of Sheffield, Manchester Met. What have we got there? Nottingham, Durham. All flying the flags as Hallam turn first. 128.33 at the turn. A lot of talent in that team. It's Nottingham in lane 3, who turn in second place, and Leeds Beckett in lane 6, who turn in third. At the end of this breaststroke leg, it is time for the butterfly. Hallam will change in first place, and it's a very healthy lead as well. But we saw in the previous heat that Harriet Watt pulled in an 8-second gap, and it was under 2 seconds in the end. So in these mixed teams, a lot can change, but this is the 25-metre lead now for Sheffield Hallam. And nearly 10 seconds, or 9.5 seconds between Sheffield Hallam and Nottingham as we go into the butterfly leg. Hallam far and away in the front with 150 metres of heat 2 to go. Hallam turn first, 233.14. For what it's worth, the record is 350.19, and that was set by Loughborough at this competition last year. And Loughborough go in lane 4 in heat number 3. Again, they're another team who we'll be seeing plenty of come the end of this championships. So the anchor legs on the platforms and ready to go. It's been a good swim in lane 6 from Leeds Beckett to stay in third place, but 100 metres between Sheffield Hallam and the win in the heat. Will it be fast enough to qualify? 4:28.72 is the benchmark time so far, set by Kiel in heat number 1. Nottingham reeling in the Sheffield Hallam swimmer. They'll fancy they've got enough pool to take this, Nottingham. And Stirling putting on the afterburners in lane 4 as well. This could be very interesting indeed. Hallam turn first, but I don't think that lead is going to last for much longer as Nottingham come up out of the water. They're actually in danger of lapping Kent, who are still on their butterfly leg in lane 2. And here's the moment then. Nottingham going around Sheffield Hallam. The first time Nottingham have led for the entire race, and they are going to take the victory. Are they going to set the new benchmark time? I think so, and I think they're going to do it comfortably as well. Nottingham Stop the clock in 4:07.90, knocking spots off the leading time. So 4:07.90 the lead time. Then Sheffield Hallam, a good second place for them, should be enough to qualify. 4:09.67, so less than 2 seconds in it. Then in third place Stirling, 4:17.30. Again, should be enough to qualify for the final later this evening. Just 20 metres to go for Kent then in lane 2. And taking a look at the times, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. All of the lanes from 4 to 9, 3 to 9 have gone quicker than all of those in heat number 1. So it could be difficult for them to qualify now, particularly with the likes of Loughborough, Edinburgh, Bath, Sheffield still to come in heat number 3. And just receiving news that lane 7, Durham, were disqualified from heat number 2. Third and final heat. A place in the final up for grabs. If you're just tuning in or you're dipping in and out, welcome. Delighted you could join us. This is the Speedo BUCS Long Course Swim Championships 2020. First session, a mammoth day tomorrow. 3 sessions in total, and we're here on Sunday as well, so your chance to enjoy some top-class swimming all weekend. And wherever you're joining us around the world, make sure you say hello via social media. BUCS not that difficult to find. We'd love to hear from you. Underway then, and in lane 0, Northampton, Glasgow in 1, Manchester Met in 2, Bristol 3, Loughborough 4, Edinburgh 5, Bath 6, Sheffield 7, Bournemouth 8 and Liverpool 9. Not had too many shocks in the heat so far, not had any outside lane flyers. Quick start from Edinburgh in 5. They'll turn first after 50 metres, 27.49. That's the quickest opening 50 metres we've had as well. It's Edinburgh from Bath, from Loughborough, going particularly well. Glasgow in lane 1 as well. They're kicking on. This is as close as it's been in the opening salvos, as you'd expect from these heats that are seeded on entry time. The first at the change will be Edinburgh. Loughborough in next in lane 4, and Glasgow going very nicely indeed. They changed in under a minute. I think this is shaping up to be the best race yet. Now Glasgow and Bath have stacked their team with 2 men for the opening leg, so they're obviously hoping to be there or thereabouts at the halfway point. But it is still Edinburgh in the lead in lane 1, 129.88. That is quick through 150 metres. In lane 6, Bath now just edging into the lead though. Another traditionally strong swim programme, Bath. Loughborough slipping down into 4th place. Next change will be at the halfway point. 4:07.90 from Nottingham is the benchmark time to beat. But the objective here is to get into the top 10 and qualify for the final. Give yourself a chance at a medal later on today. So at the halfway point, it is Bath from Edinburgh, lane 6 from lane 5. Glasgow in lane 1 in 3rd, Loughborough in lane 4 in 4th. But now going into the flight, we have a 1, 2, 3 as Glasgow just start to drop off, but Edinburgh looking very strong. 150 metres to go for them. There's a good touch. And Bath and Loughborough turn at exactly the same time, as it's much stronger off the wall from Loughborough, so they move into second place, and it's going to be a straight shootout over the final 100 metres to see who can take it home. It will be Edinburgh with the lead. And Loughborough have worked from 4th to 2nd, but Edinburgh, who've led throughout, now have 80 metres to hold on. Straight shootout for first place, then Edinburgh looking like they're going to hold on, but what is the time looking like? They're going to turn in about 3:30. It is 3:30.12. Big effort required from Loughborough then. 3:33.52 with 4 minutes 7.9. I'll get there eventually. But really anything under 4.5 minutes should qualify them for the final, and they're certainly going to get there. And this could well and should well be a new benchmark time from Edinburgh. What are they going to stop the clock in? Edinburgh are going to be the fastest over the 3 heats, and it is 4 minutes. It's 3:59.70. That is very quick. Very quick indeed. The only team to go under 4 minutes in the entire heats. Loughborough goes second quickest in the heat and second quickest over the 3 heats with 4:03.14. And Manchester Met come through to finish third, 4:11.11. What that does tell me is we are going to have an extremely competitive podium later on, particularly for that bronze medal. That could be won by any of 3 or 4 teams. And now they'll have a little bit of time to rest, and they will be back with the final later on. Just a bit of a rundown of what we've got coming up. So that was the mixed 4x100 relay. We've got the women's 4x1 freestyle relay and the men's 4x1 freestyle relay, but they are only the heats because the finals will be tomorrow. Then we've got men's and women's 1500s, and then we finish the freestyle relay final. So this is heat number 1 of the women's 4x1 relay. We have East Anglia off to a flyer in lane 0, Northampton in 1, Bangor in 2, Queen Mary in 3, Leicester in lane 4 with some catching up to do. In lane 5, York St John in 6, Kiel, Chichester in 7, and Oxford Brookes in lane 8. And lane 9 is empty. So same distance as before, 4 swimmers, 2 lengths of this long course pool apiece. And East Anglia turn first, 30.08 in heat number 1. Leicester in lane 4. They're in second place. It's Queen Mary in lane 3 who've got off to a tough start. You've got to remember, at these Speedo BUCS swim series championships, we do have elite swimmers, Olympians, world champions, but we also have student representatives from academic institutes without full-time programs and full-time coaches. So just to get to a national championships is some achievement. Everyone's targets are different. It's really important to remember that with student sport. Cater for everyone. And thankfully in the UK we have some of the very best of the best participating in BUCS, and we shouldn't forget that. So in lane 0, East Anglia. Are we going to have our first outside lane flyer? I absolutely love them. So Leicester turn in second place. And East Anglia going so well at the moment, you wonder whether or not they've been put in the wrong heat. This will take us to the halfway point. It's the same crack as before. You're looking to get into the top 10 and qualify, but it's tougher this time because there are 4 heats. And at the halfway point, East Anglia turn. in 2:05.86. Next in lane 4, it's Leicester. Really good race in lane 5 and lane 6 between York, St John and Kiel. Kiel just coming through, and they had a strong finish to take them to the halfway point. Have a watch for Oxford Brookes in lane 8 as well. This is a very, very good race indeed. I think East Anglia are home and hosed in lane 0. At this point, probably livid they got the outside lane draw. They should be in one of the show lanes with the gold ropes. Leicester in second place. Surely first and second done and dusted, but third place very much up for grabs. Turning in third in lane 8 are Oxford Brookes, 2:53.75 with 150 metres to go. Then in fourth place, we've got Bangor in lane 2. This one is all over the place. But East Anglia, 3 swimmers down, 1 to go. And they turn in 3:08.82. They are streets ahead of Leicester, who are streets ahead of everybody else. This is going to be a 25-metre lead. Yep, 25-metre lead as Leicester send their final swimmer in. 3:21.52. So that's nearly 13 seconds between the top 2. Then in third place, 3:30.62 for Oxford Brookes. So Leicester have got 9 seconds on them. East Anglia are into their final length of the pool. They're going to take first. Leicester are going to take second. Third place could still be on. Oxford Brookes there at the moment, but this is a good swim in lane 5 from York St John, and also in lane 2 from Bangor as well. Oh, here we go. Queen Mary in lane 3. Are they going to get lapped by East Anglia as they close in? I think they might. Final swimmer in for Queen Mary as East Anglia touch home in 4:09.28. That'll be the benchmark time. Here come Leicester in lane 4 to close in second place. I don't think this is going to be a top 10 time, but I wonder if that 4:09.28 just might be. To have a qualifier in lane 0 in heat 1 would be absolutely fantastic. 4:38.04 for York St John in third. They come in thick and fast now. Oxford Brookes fourth. Bangor in 5th place. In 6th, it's Northampton. And then the final teams coming through now. In lane 6, Kiel will be finishing shortly, followed by Chichester. It's a good, strong swim to finish from Queen Mary in lane 3. And that is heat 1 of 4 in the Women's Open 400, the 4x100 freestyle team. Just confirmation then, East Anglia take it 4:09.28, the benchmark time. If you want to qualify, you need to be one team, one of 9 teams who goes faster than that. And trust me, there are some fast swimmers to come.
And those results are confirmed. Heat 2.
Heat number 2 then. What's the next surprise? In lane 0, we've got Portsmouth, Southampton in 1, so a geographical rivalry on this near side. Sheffield, Hallam, Liverpool, John Moores in 2 and 3 respectively. Manchester and Bournemouth in 4 and 5. York in 6, Liverpool 7, Lancaster 8 and Reading in 9. So a full house in heat number 2. And just remember, 4:09.28, that's the benchmark time from East Anglia. If you don't go quicker than that, then it's going to be very difficult for you to qualify. York in lane 6 were the first at the turn, but this is a strong second 50 metres from Manchester, so they'll be neck and neck after the first change. And it is Manchester 101.22 and 101.48 for Manchester and York. And this a strong start in the second leg from Manchester in lane 4. Also going along nicely in lane 2, Sheffield Hallam, as you'd expect. Trying to stay in their slipstream in lane 3. We've got Liverpool John Moores as well. Over on the far side, Lancaster going along quite nicely in lane 8. At the turn in lane 4, it is Manchester. 1:30.53 is the time from York in second place, and Sheffield Hallam in third. But Hallam coming through now to take second place, and they could well take the lead into the halfway point. This is a very strong second leg swing from them. This will be around 2 minutes at the halfway point, 4:09.28. That time they're all chasing down. So at the turn, it is Manchester at the halfway point, 2:03.35 in first place. If they continue at this pace, they will be underneath that time set by East Anglia in the first leg. Flying out of the blocks there in lane 0. Really impressive swim from them. Not replicated by Portsmouth in lane 0 this time, but it is a good race between themselves and Southampton. As Manchester still continue to push the pace. York just dropping off, and they need to be careful that Lancaster in lane 8 don't sneak on them and take a top 3 place. So Manchester led at the changeover. I don't think they're going to lead as we go into the final swimmer though, because Sheffield Hallam have eked their way back into this race. It's been a very strong swim indeed. At the moment it looks like 1 of 2, but York and Lancaster are lurking with intent, as are Portsmouth in lane 0. So it will be Sheffield Hallam leading with 100 metres to go. What's the changeover time? 3:08.46. It needs to be a quick swim. It needs to be a quick final 100 to get inside that 4:09.28. Manchester in second place, York in third, Lancaster fourth, Portsmouth lane 0 in fifth. I don't think a fourth or fifth in heat 2 is going to be quick enough. And we're about to find out exactly how quick that 4:09.28 is. I think it's going to be very quick indeed. Are any of these teams going to go inside that? What are they at the changeover? 3:38.55. Sheffield Hallam are going to have to go some here to set a new benchmark score. But this has turned into a cracking race between Sheffield Hallam and Manchester. And I don't think York have given up on it yet either. Hallam just doing enough here. They're about half a body length, 2/3 of a body length, now a full body length in front. And Sheffield Hallam are going to take heat number 2. Is it going to be quicker than 4:09.28? 4:12.26. Very interesting indeed. So 4:12.26 wins heat number 2. And that has been corrected. 4:10.46. 4:10.46 the lead time, but that is still nearly a full second slower than East Anglia in lane 0 in heat 1, who are putting themselves in a very nice position indeed. Heat 1, heat 2 done. Next up, heat 3.
Just waiting for the confirmed results of this one from our timing suite before we can move on, and there they are. Hallam take the win. Manchester second, York third. We move on. Heat 3.
Heat number 3 ready to go. Full house again, all 10 lanes full. Real buzz about the place. Loads of athletes lining either side of the pool. My commentary position very similar to what you can see now. I'm pretty much bang on halfway of the pool, and I can see athletes and supporters all around on night number 1 of the Speedo and BUCS Long Course Swim Championships 2020. In heat 3, we have Edge Hill in lane 0 closest to us, leads Beckett in 1, leads in 2. I love these little regional battles within battles. Not quite so much in lane 3 and lane 4, because Surrey go in lane 3, Edinburgh in lane 4, Swansea in 5, Bath in 6, so another one in 7 and 8, because Northumbria are in 7, Newcastle in 8, and then London in lane 9. Edinburgh off to a flyer, 27.84. That's the fastest opening 50 we've had, and they've already got a lead of maybe 2 body lengths. Bath and Swansea neck and neck in 5 and 6, as are Surrey in lane 3. But at the first changeover, it will be Edinburgh in 57.79. This very quick. Can they carry on this pace? They will be inside those benchmark times we've had so far. Bath and Swansea just outside the 1 minute mark, 1 minute 0.19 and 1 minute 0.87 respectively. But Edinburgh making light work of this. Bath putting themselves comfortably in second place. As the next changeover will take us to the halfway point of heat number 3 in the women's 4x100 freestyle relay. Over in lane 9, London at risk of falling a length behind. So at the halfway point, what is the time for Edinburgh? 1:56.16. They'll want to take this one home in well under 4 minutes and put it beyond any doubt. That's a cracking start to the third leg from Bath, though. Quite a lot of ground to cover, but in these relays, it tends to be more chopping and changing than in any other format of the race. The rhythm doesn't really count. Leeds in lane 2 just started to make a bit of a dent. Do they fancy a top 3 here? Edinburgh 2:23.84. 125 metres to go for them. And Bath comfortably in second place. I think they're going to be inside the lead time as well. It is still East Anglia in lane 0 in heat 1, 4:09.28, the time they're all chasing. 100 metres to go. 2:53.87 for Edinburgh. In fact, if they don't go well under 4 minutes now, then something has gone seriously wrong. Same for Bath, 2:58.57 for them. We're starting to see the top teams go through the gears. In lane 5, Swansea turn in third, but I don't think Leeds are going to let them get away with that for long. Less than half a body length between them. Decent start for Surrey in 5th place for the final 100 as well. But Edinburgh into their final 50, make that final 40. This has been a controlled performance from them. And we are certainly about to see the new fastest time, the new benchmark time. And this will all but guarantee them qualification, because there are not 10 teams in the final heat who can go quicker than this. Edinburgh way out in front as London attempt their final 100 metres. 3:50.52. The first team under 4 minutes. And that is very impressive. Bath nip under 4 minutes as well. 3:59.17 for them. And they're all starting to come through now. That should be quick enough for Swansea, maybe for Surrey. And that is heat number 3 of 4. The finals for this one, not tonight, they are tomorrow afternoon, so they'll have a little bit of time to rest and recuperate before coming back. And Edinburgh have just announced themselves a huge victory. 12.5 seconds. They take heat 3 in 3:50.52.
And in they come. That completes the race. Those results are official. We move on. Heat 4.
Final heat, final chance to qualify for the final of this event, the women's 4x100. And the last teams we will see before we move on to the men's are Aberdeen in 0, Cardiff Met in 1, Manchester Met in 2, Birmingham in 3, Loughborough 4, Stirling 5, Bristol 6, Nottingham 7, Glasgow 8 and Durham in lane 9. Well, Edinburgh have arrived, 350.52. All of a sudden our plucky underdogs, East Anglia, may not have done enough, but it would be great to see them in the final, but they are a full 19 seconds slower than Edinburgh. And Stirling 28.32, that's a little bit slower than Edinburgh went over the first 50 metres, but difficult to judge a race on the opening 50 when there are 4 swimmers involved, but just 2 of the teams outside 30 seconds in that opening 50. This is quick. You can throw a blanket over Stirling, Loughborough, Manchester Met and Cardiff Met. Aberdeen over there in lane 8, Glasgow flying along as well. I mean, these heats are seeded, but this is shaping up to be a great race. Loughborough and Stirling battling it out in those 2 golden lanes, 4 and 5. Loughborough in lane 4, the closest to us. They'll lead at the turn. What's the time saying? 127.21, 127.84 for Stirling in 2 and 128.86 for Birmingham. You've got that arrowhead in the middle starting to form, but only in those middle lanes because they've managed to drop lane 6, Bristol. Really do have some work to do. It's a fabulous second leg from Loughborough. Just a reminder that I've not received the names of the individual swimmers in these relay teams. That will be rectified for the finals as Loughborough change in the lead. 156.35. It's 158.97 for Stirling. So Loughborough have managed to make 1.6 seconds on that second 100 metres. In lane 3, Birmingham in third place, putting a gap between themselves and the rest of the field. The race for 4th is an interesting one at the moment. Glasgow, Manchester Met, Cardiff Met, all having a great race. Or a race within a race, should I say, because it's Loughborough who are having the great race. And they are opening up the gap. Traditionally do well at the relays, such as the strength and depth of the team. But that was a real statement from Edinburgh, 350.52. Championship record, 338.49. That was set by Loughborough, but way back in 2012. Don't usually get swimming records lasting that long. I think the oldest BUCS long course record is 2010, that's right. Liam Tancock's backstroke 50 and 100 have stood for a decade, which is actually staggering. We're coming into the final throws of this one. Loughborough in charge. I don't think they're going to go quicker than Edinburgh. And keep an eye on that race for second place. It's belonged majoritively to Stirling, but Birmingham absolutely flying along. I don't think Loughborough can be too complacent here. It will be quick enough to win the heat for Loughborough, but it will not be quick enough to go quicker than Edinburgh. What a time from them. 354.94. It is the second fastest qualification time, so it will be Loughborough and Edinburgh in the middle lanes in the final. Stirling and Birmingham just outside 4 minutes. That'll see them comfortably into tomorrow's final. Very close for 4th place. Nottingham, Aberdeen and Glasgow all touching back, but now everyone's home safely. And looking at those times, I do fear we are going to lose East Anglia, but their 4:09.28 would have held its own in this seeded final, so hopefully they can take some heart from that. I don't think we're going to see them in the final tomorrow.
In the men's 400-meter freestyle team events. Heat 1.
So into the men's competition then, the 4x100 freestyle team, 5 heats in this one. Again, they're all seeded, so somebody in this heat is going to have to absolutely smoke it to get through to the final. Top 10 teams will qualify. Lanes 0 and 1 empty. In lane 2, Queen Mary, Northampton in 3, Chichester 4, London 5, Bangor, North Wales in 6, and Glasgow in 7. 24.97, that is pretty quick from Glasgow over the opening 50. If they've got 3 more swimmers who can continue at this kind of pace, if so, they might have half a shout. They turn first ahead of Northampton in second. Yeah, 52.46. Good swim this so far from Glasgow. 59.13 for Northampton in second. 1 minute 0.88 for London in third there in lane 5. We do have confirmation of the women's finalists. I will give them to you. Sorry, the mixed finalists. I'll give them to you at the end of this heat. Which, if Glasgow have got anything to do with it, will not last that long at all. 119.39 at the change. They've got a massive lead, nearly 10 seconds over London in lane 5. Very impressive stuff, but such is the standard of the swimming. Very often we will get a flyer in the opening heat who perhaps could have been a little bit further up. So at the halfway point, 1:48.44 is the time from Glasgow. London in second place, but I think this is going to be their first and only swim because it won't be quick enough for a final. Bangor look like they're swimming in treacle there as they lose a bit of time on Chichester, who change in third. Bangor in fourth, Northampton fifth, Queen Mary in sixth place. Glasgow could well lap somebody here. They are crossing over. There is this painful part of the London Marathon where if you run it as a club runner, you're completing your maybe 11th or 12th mile and all the elites are doing their 20th and 21st. You cross them and you see them going the other way, and that is what all of the other teams are facing with Glasgow here as they go into their final 100 metres. 2:44.13 the change over time. Maybe there won't be a lapping, but it'll be close. They could well finish when everyone else has at least 50 metres to go. This is incredibly impressive stuff here from Glasgow in heat number 1 of 5 in the men's 4x100 freestyle. Spoiler alert, if any of you are football fans, then you may want to check your social media, because I'm not going to give the game away, but there has been some big old news in the world of English football. But the big news here is Glasgow are going to romp home in heat number 1. Very, very good time, 3:38.31. And that will be the lead time. At the moment, that makes them the number 1 seed. The top 10 will go into the final later on. Maybe that'll be quick enough. So in the mixed, the first out-and-out final of these championships, Leeds will go in lane 0, Stirling in 1, Manchester Met in 2, Nottingham 3, Edinburgh 4, Loughborough 5, Hallam 6, Bath 7, Beckett 8, and Glasgow in lane 9. So that'll be the final race of the day, as all of the teams are starting to come through now. So no doubt about who picks up first. Glasgow, London second, Chichester third, Northampton fourth, Bangor in fifth. And then in sixth place, Queen Mary, touchback, and that completes heat number 1.
Official results are in. Here's heat 2.
Heat number 2. Full house this time, and in lane 0, Kiel, Oxford Brookes in 1, Bournemouth 2, Manchester Met in 3, UWE in 4, York St John 5, Sheffield 6, Bristol 7, Heriot Watt 8, and Kent in lane 9. In lane 3, Manchester Met, quickest out of the gate, 25.11, very quick out of the gate indeed. In lane 8, Heriot Watt got off quickly as well, but they're being reeled in by Bristol in 7 and Sheffield in 6. First at the change, Manchester Met, 52.73. 338.31 Glasgow, the current lead time, but 5 heats. We're expecting to see some fast swimming. And the race within the race, Bristol and Heriot Watt, they're going to spur each other on in lane 2. Bournemouth. But it is Manchester Met in lane 3 who'll lead after 150 metres. 1:18.81 is the time. Bristol second, Heriot Watt third, 4th place for Bournemouth. So it's pretty spread out. But again, runaway leader, just like there was in heat number 1. Manchester Met will have a healthy lead at the halfway point. In those middle lanes, UWE and York St John, currently the back markers in the pack. That's something you see all the time. In fact, come finals, we probably won't see it for the entire championship. Good changeover for Bristol. They managed to put a couple of body lengths between themselves and Heriot Watt, and then coming through Oxford Brookes and Bournemouth, looking to get into that top 3 as Manchester Met continue to dominate. 2:14.31 at the change with 1 swimmer remaining. 3:38.31 is the score, or the time should I say, that they are all looking to beat. Healthy lead, 37 seconds at the latest split. And keep your eye on that clock. I think 3:38 might be pretty safe here. We shall see. Maybe not. Manchester Met attacking the final 100 metres, crossing that red line. It'll become 75 metres. And it's still Bristol and Heriot Watt battling it out for second and third, although realistically Heriot Watt's hopes have been dashed, and in fact they might not get the top 3 at all, because Oxford Brookes and Bournemouth in lanes 1 and 2 respectively are herring up. Now, what does the clock say at the split? It's 3:08.55 for Manchester Met. In fact, this could and should be the quickest time so far. 25 metres to go as the clock hits 3:24. It's going to be close, but either way, very, very good swim from Manchester Met. The bar will be raised as we go through the heats, but they're giving themselves a chance here, Manchester Met. It is 3:37.23. Yes, it is the new quickest time. (3:37.23) leapfrogs Glasgow's 3:38.31. But Glasgow remains second overall. Bristol takes second, 3:47.46, 3:52.22 for Oxford Brookes. Another good swim. Bristol giving themselves a chance again. Still 30 teams to come, and only the top 10 go through to the final. But Manchester Met and Glasgow have an outside shout as we go into Heat 3.
Heat 3.
Heat number 3, where Brunel go in 0, York in 1, Aberdeen 2, Reading 3, Liverpool in 4, and Liverpool John Moores in 5, Exeter 6, Imperial 7, Leicester 8, East Anglia 9, and at the first exchange. It was Liverpool John Moores, 26.04. Interestingly, that is slower than heats 1 and 2. So maybe those times of Manchester Met and Glasgow a little bit better than I initially want to give them credit for. Liverpool John Moores really attacking the water on that changeover. 53.67 from Exeter, 56.39 from Imperial, 56.60. Oh, and this is the closest of all the races so far. Keep your eye on that battle in lane 6 and 7. They're closing in on lane 5, John Moores, and over on the far side, East Anglia in lane 9, keeping themselves in contention too. But we have a new leader. It is Aberdeen in lane 2. Great work off the wall to propel themselves ahead of Liverpool John Moores. And it will be Aberdeen with the lead at the halfway point, unless East Anglia finish quickly. They're the old dark horses, East Anglia, getting those outside lane draws, and they're going to be in second place at this halfway point. What does the clock say? East Anglia actually turning in first place, 152.21. Although my eyes tell me differently. My eyes tell me that Aberdeen lead in this race, but there's a lot of space between them. And either way, they put a gap between themselves and the rest of the field. Well, this time it does say Aberdeen, 218.39 and 218.67. What a race this is between Aberdeen and East Anglia with 125 metres to go. In third place, it is Liverpool. In lane 4, John Moores, after that great start, have dropped all the way back to 7th place. And into the final 100 then, East Anglia looking for their second heat win of the evening from an outside lane. Take the lead, 247.73 from Aberdeen, 248.89. These are your top two teams, but East Anglia have opened up a gap and coming through in the middle lanes now. Aberdeen are going to have to hold on because Liverpool coming through strong. They've stacked their team to get quicker as they go. And then in lane 7, Imperial, and lane 6, Exeter, looking to finish with a bang as well. Remember, it's all about the time and not the position you come. You post a top 10 time, you are in the final. The lead times at the moment, we've got 3:37.23 for Manchester Met, 3:38.31 for Glasgow, but closing in on a new fastest time potentially. We have East Anglia. Well, they're going to take the heat, but it's not going to be the fastest time because the clock has ticked beyond 3:40, and it is 3:43.62. Another good swim from UEA though, and that's the third quickest time we've had so far. Still 2 heats to come. Still Manchester Met sitting pretty at the top of the scoreboard. The penultimate heat. Southampton in 0, Lancaster 1, Portsmouth 2, Sheffield Hallam 3, Loughborough 4, Swansea 5, Cambridge 6, Newcastle 7, Warwick in 8, Leeds Beckett in 9, and Loughborough turn first, 24.38. Very quick over the opening 50. Loughborough and Swansea both under 25 seconds. 24.38, Loughborough the quickest, about half a body length ahead of the team to their left, which is Sheffield Hallam in lane 3, who turned in third but have moved up into second after a quick start for Swansea. just drops off after 100 metres. It is Loughborough from Hallam, Swansea third, Lancaster fourth in lane 1. They've dropped Portsmouth to their left and Southampton to their right. As Sheffield Hallam get up to parity with Loughborough as we approach the 150 metre mark. Loughborough turn first, 1:16.20. Remember that lead time still 3:37.23. Manchester Met from heat number 2. They picked themselves a great spot. In fact, you can see them at the top of the screen there in the orange t-shirts. They've got the banner above them as well. Always very, very welcome. The Lenny Speedo BUCS Swim Series Championship event. All the swimmers from Manchester Met. There's Loughborough. Change again in the lead. It's not a massive lead though, less than a second. Loughborough from Hallam from Swansea. In lane 1, Lancaster dropped down into 4th place. Cambridge in 5th. In 6th place, it's Warwick in lane 8. In 7th, Portsmouth in 2. In 8th, we have Newcastle in lane 7. And in 9th, we have Leeds Beckett in lane 9. Southampton in 10th place on this near side. 2:08.74 for Loughborough at the change. Could we be looking at new leaders? In fact, 3 top times coming out of this, the 4th and penultimate heat. We still have Cardiff Met, Nottingham, Manchester, Edinburgh, Stirling, Bath, Surrey, Birmingham, Leeds and Durham to come in the 5th and final heat of the men's 4x100, which is going to the final 100 metres. Loughborough, who've led from the beginning, lead into the final swim. But Swansea coming off the blocks like a rocket. They're back up into 2nd place. Hallam slipped down into 3rd. In 4th place in lane 6, it's Cambridge. They've been quiet throughout the race. Can they go quick enough to dislodge those flyers from the earlier legs? Loughborough turn in 3:30.95, chasing down 3:37.23. We should be looking at a new leader here. And it could be a very impressive time indeed. Loughborough in lane 4 are going to take it. They're going to set a new quickest time. What is that new quickest time going to be? 3:27.83. So Swansea go 2nd quickest, Sheffield Hallam go 3rd quickest. I'll be hoping all of those times will be quick enough for the finals berth. 3:37.23 for Manchester Met, still quicker than Lancaster, Southampton, Portsmouth, Newcastle, Warwick and Leeds Beckett. So we could still see one of the underdogs in the final. But Loughborough, the new benchmark time, 3:27.83 for the victory in heat number 4. So one final heat to come in this men's 4x1. Then we move on to the 1500 freestyle. We've got 1 heat in the women's, 2 heats in the men's. They're heat declared winners, so it's not a final per se. However, with just 1 heat, we will know who the BUCS champion is at the end of 1 race in the women's and 2 races in the men's. As I've mentioned before, but if you're just tuning in, a reminder, this is the first of 3 days of competition here at Ponds Forge for the Speedo BUCS Swimming Series Long Course Championships. Huge thanks to Speedo for their support of these championships. Oh, and great news, I've just been given the team medley team sheet, so I'll be able to give you swimmer names for the finals as well. Job's a good one. I'm going to be talking you through all of the action, and hopefully this weekend I'm going to make some friends, so do get in touch. BUCS aren't particularly hard to find on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know where in the world you're watching from, who you're supporting.
Every single day of this event.
Be kind to me.
Store vouchers, convenience, and much more.
Heat number 5 then, the men's 4x100 freestyle relay. So Loughborough have just gone quickest, 3:27.87, but this another stacked heat. 3:27.87 should be enough to qualify, but I will be particularly surprised if it is the fastest of the heats. Athletes on the blocks, here we go, heat 5. In lane 0, closest to the camera, the Archers, Cardiff Met, Nottingham in 1, Manchester 2, Edinburgh 3, Stirling 4, Bath 5, Surrey in lane 6, in lane 7, Birmingham, in lane 8, Leeds and Durham make up the lineup in lane 9. Stirling have flown out of the blocks. How quick is it going to be at the turn? 23.63, goodness me, the only university to go under 24 seconds. In fact, we've got just the two teams who went quicker than Loughborough of that opening 50, Stirling and Edinburgh. And Stirling not here to play games.
Manchester in 2, Edinburgh are in 3, Stirling in 4.
What's the time going to be?
Surrey going 6.
At the changeover, 49 dead for Stirling. Wow, that is the benchmark. 2.6 seconds up over Edinburgh already, and everyone else just hanging on for dear life as Stirling take it away from them. So it is Stirling from Edinburgh, from Manchester. Then in 4th place, Leeds, way out there in lane 8, but that a very, very interesting battle between Durham, Leeds, Birmingham and Surrey in 9, 8, 7 and 6. A real splash fest over there on the far side. Finals places up for grabs. Stirling 1:14.06 at that turn, and at the halfway point we're going to have a 2 or 3 metre lead. But again, just keep your eye on that far side and how close that is. They've started to drop leads in lane 8, and Durham, well, they've dropped right off, and at the halfway point it is Stirling 1:41.35. Stirling are the record holders. 3:20.87 is the BUCS record. They set that in 2019. Maybe not in the heat, but maybe in the final. What's the turn time? 2:05.71. 2:09.45 for Edinburgh. 3.74 seconds the difference. Still 1 length to go, but they are home and hosed. This looks more like a heat 4 or a heat 5, such as the quality of Stirling, leaving everyone else in their wake. 3:27.87 the lead time. Stirling are going to be miles inside that. What's the clock saying now? 2:51. You know what, it's not going to be the record time, but it's not going to be far off. If we don't see the record time in the final, I will be very, very surprised indeed. Keep your eye on that clock. What's it saying? 3:08 there. 3:20.87. Well, they're almost taking the gas off here. What an extraordinary heat swim for Stirling. 3:27.87, the fastest time we've seen. They have cruised to 3:23.91, and they will be the #1 seeded team going into the final tomorrow. It's 3:27.93 for Edinburgh. So the battle for the silver medal very much alive, but Edinburgh and Loughborough have got some real work to do if they're going to come anywhere near Stirling, who I think might have one eye on the gold medal and the BUCS record tomorrow. And that completes all 5 heats of the men's 4x100 freestyle relay. There'll be a short break and we'll move into the first and only heat, ergo the final of the women's 1500 freestyle.
It's the women's 1500 metre freestyle. This is heat 1.
Strap in then, folks. The first of 3 1500 metre races. They are heat declared winners. And in this women's competition, there is only one heat, so the winner of this race will be the BUCS champion. For the men's, it's done on times because there are 2 heats. So the fastest racer in the 2 heats will be the winner. So in lane 1, closest to us, from Nottingham University, we have Sophia Allen. Millie Emmons of Surrey goes in 2, from Sheffield in 3. Amber Keegan. A couple of Loughborough athletes in 4 and 5. We have M. Clark in 4. Maisie McCartney in 5. Katie Taylor Strathclyde goes in 6, and then in lane 7, Daisy Hill of East Anglia. Long old race, the 1500. And in case you're a swimmer, a spectator, or a commentator who forgets how many lengths we're on, luckily we've got our race officials down at the far end who hold up boards to remind all of the racers. Lovely start here from Amber Keegan in lane 3. It's one of those races where you can see plenty of changes. However, they don't tend to sneak up on you. It's 26 lengths to go. It is Keegan, 2:12.02 from M. Clark in Loughborough, 2:13.25, and then Millie Emmons of Surrey in lane 3. 3 medals up for grabs, 7 athletes in the pool. Have to fancy your chances on occasions like this. And this will actually be the first medal of these championships as well. So what an opportunity to get your institution, your club, off to the best possible start. If you're just joining us, welcome. You have missed the mixed 4x100 relay. We've got the final of that one coming up. That'll be the last race of the evening. And all of the heats in the 4x1 freestyle relays as well, men's and women's. Those finals will be tomorrow. This is the final of the women's 1500 metres. And this Friday night, almost the soft opening of these championships. Tomorrow is a monster session as Amber Keegan continues in the lead, 3:20.52. After 6 lengths. And M. Clark just taking this away from everyone else. Yeah, tomorrow we've got women's 200 freestyle, men's 200 freestyle, then 50 backstroke, 50 breaststroke, 100 butterfly, 400 individual medley, 800 freestyle heat declared winners. And then the finals of all of those as well. It is a bonkers day of swimming. And we'll be bringing you every race live. So If you can't make it to the venue, Ponsford International Swim Centre here in Sheffield, then make sure you join us. If you can join us, then come on down. There's lots going on. Every race has live commentary. We'll be doing some interviews with winners, all of the presentations of the champions. We've got plenty of stalls, plenty of fun and games. It's nice and warm and a great atmosphere. So come on and join us. What else would you be doing on a Saturday? There's no Six Nations. Is the Premier League still on a winter break? Either way, it's great sport, so come and join us. As Anne Clark slowly starting to hunt down Amber Keegan here. Just looking like she's going to stick on her shoulder and try and drop her. Championship record for the 1500. Led by Sophie Castle. Do you know, I made a mistake earlier and I thought that Liam Tancock's records would be the longest standing. But Sophie Castle set the 1500 record of 16:47.59 back in 2009. And Caitlin McClatchy set the 200 metre record of 1:57.64 in 2008. So some of these BUCS records have stood for well over a decade. With 20 lengths to go. 500 metres gone, 1,000 metres remaining. And at the moment, it's Loughborough and Sheffield, Clark and Keegan battling it out for that opening gold medal of the championship. So, I mean, obviously, still a lot of water to be covered. However, looking like a nice battle for bronze as well. Katie Taylor in lane 6, and in lane 2, Millie Emmons. Not a huge amount between those two. I mean, the race at the front is for the championship. That final podium position, no one likes finishing in 4th place. Hazel McCartney of Loughborough in lane 5, in 5th place. She turns in 6:28.85. $18 lengths to go. Now Keegan and Clark, there'll be some mind games going on here. Difficult to know which one is pushing the pace. What I will say is, with those long strokes, slightly slower cadence for the Loughborough swimmer. Will that mean she's got more in the tank as the race goes on? And if it comes to a sprint, will that slightly quicker arm speed benefit Keegan? Plenty of time until we find out. So yes, I was telling you what the record was, wasn't I? Not how long it had stood for. 16:47.59. So I think we're just behind championship pace, because at the end of the next length we'll be at the halfway point. I'm going to use my pretty terrible math to try and double what they are at this changeover.
Well, it doesn't always happen in a 1500 race, but we've got a real battle on our hands here. Lanes 3 and 4 are going.
So what's it going to be? 8:32.32. So yeah, they're on just outside 17-minute pace. So 17:05 if they carry on at this pace. That wouldn't be quick enough to trouble Sophie's record. It'll stand for at least another year, from 2009, maybe until forever. But a proper battle here. You don't often get these in the 1500s. And the fact that they are both in the lanes next to each other will mean that there will be some communication, perhaps not verbal,
Race 3 and 4.
but they are going
Keegan and Clark.
at the same pace, not stroke for stroke, because as you can see, Keegan still with that slightly faster cadence to Clark.
Season separation. Still a long ways to go. Those two at the minute battling out for the gold
A
medal.
little bit of a kick off the wall from Keegan that time. She was 0.16 ahead at the length, and now she is visibly ahead. So they've been shoulder to shoulder for the entire race. Well, that 0.16 has become 0.31, but again, that means absolutely nothing. And I think with maybe as little as 100 or 150 metres to go, one of these could really put the hammer down. It was Keegan who was the pace setter early on. Clark had to settle in to catch her. Katie Taylor, Strathclyde, has put a bit of space between herself and Millie Amons in the battle for third place. And fifth, sixth and seventh are having a battle between themselves. Maisie McCartney of Loughborough currently in fifth place. Daisy Hill of East Anglia in lane 7 in sixth place, and in seventh in lane 1 Sophia Allen of Nottingham. Now it's not a huge lead, but it's about as big as the lead has been here for Amber Keegan. It's coming up to a body length. You can see Clark really hugging that lane rope, probably wanting to be as close to her opponent as she can. In those middle lengths, Amber Keegan was doing the same, but no, she's just given herself a little bit of water. She's pushed over to the left-hand side of her lane. You're not going to be able to lose your opponent because she's going to see it every time she breathes. But interestingly, this way, every breath from M. Clark is to the right-hand side, so she'll be less aware of Amber Keegan on these return lengths than she will on the home lengths, where she continues to breathe on the right-hand side. Well, interestingly, Keegan breathing out of the left here. So 10 lengths to go, 500 metres, 2/3 of the way there. The medals look like they're decided, but in what order? So really nice swim here from Amber Keegan. Faster cadence, incredibly consistent. But Anne Clark does look like she could go up a gear. And she's just going to reel her opponent in. Just with that kick off the wall, she's almost eroded that entire body length lead. Even though we're this far away watching on screens, we can see how much longer the strokes are, how much longer her limbs are. The clock ticks towards 12.5 minutes. We are now into, or we will be at the turn, the final 400 metres. One of these swimmers 400 metres away from BUCS Championship gold, and again on the turn, Em Clark eating away at that tiny Amber Keegan lead. Maybe just showing her that she can. Katie Taylor, Strathclyde. Looking more like she's going to be the bronze medalist. Now at the turn, are we going to see a new leader? Yes, we are. Em Clark turns first. 13:09.44. 13:09.72 for Amber Keegan. All of a sudden, the Sheffield swimmer is the one who's 0.28 of a second behind. That's the kind of lead that she's been holding there. 14 seconds ahead of the swimmer in third place, Katie Taylor. She's getting the bronze medal. I don't think there's any dispute about that, unless Millie Emmons finds a rocket between now and the final 300 metres. 300 metres to go. 6 lengths. Doesn't seem like a long time, but after 1200, they'll be feeling that. And now they are hugging the same lane rope again. Amber Keegan, there's been a lot more movement in the lane from her than there has from M. Clark. She's hugged that middle rope from the start of the race. And shoulder to shoulder again. What a brilliant race this is. Even though it's the longest in distance, this has been one of the closest races I've seen at BUCS level in this pool for a very long time. I've seen 50-metre sprints that haven't been as close as this one. Clark of Loughborough in lane 4, Keegan of Sheffield in lane 3. Neither of them giving an inch. They'll turn now with 200 metres to go. What's going on behind them? Whilst not irrelevant, certainly isn't as important. Katie Taylor of Strathclyde is all but guaranteed the bronze medal, because it doesn't look like Millie Emmons of Surrey has got the gas in the tank. I mentioned it 200 metres ago. Is this the point where M. Clark starts to take it away? And just starts to lay down the gauntlet and see if Amber Keegan can respond. 150 metres to go, and it will be Clark turning in first place. What's the lead? It's 0.81 of a second now. When that becomes a second, it makes it very difficult for Amber Keegan to respond. Which one of them has the kick? The first gold medal is going to Loughborough, or it's going to Sheffield. It's pretty much the biggest lead that Clark has had in the entire race. Now Keegan, if she's going to respond, she's going to have to do it now. She's going to have a great turn off the wall. The whistles start to go to tell us it is the final 100 metres, and it's M. Clark who turns first. The gap now 0.95 of a second, but here comes the kick from Amber Keegan. Maybe that faster cadence does come into play now as she gets back to parity. Starts to turn the shoulders and takes the lead again. Amber Keegan was a second behind, and now it's down to M. Clark to respond, and it doesn't look like she will. This would be a fabulous comeback from Keegan. From a second down, she could well be a second up with 50 metres to go. Amber Keegan turns first, 16:36.19. She has made up nearly 2 seconds on that penultimate length of this pool, and Amber Keegan has played a blinder. M. Clark needs a kick now. I don't think she's going to find it. It looked like Clark had reeled Keegan in, but she lured her into a false sense of security, and Amber Keegan has swum a stunning final 100 metres. She's going to take 3 seconds out of Clark in the final 2 lengths, and Amber Keegan takes the first gold medal of these championships. 17:08.63 is the time. It's gold for Sheffield, silver for Loughborough, and that is going to be one of the races of this championships, make no mistake. For so much of that race, M. Clark looked the favourite, but Amber Keegan timed it to perfection. Katie Taylor takes the bronze medal. And we're still waiting for the final 3 races to finish. What a lovely moment between gold and silver, Keegan and Clark. Fantastic race, great rivalry. McCartney stops the clock in just over 18 minutes, as does Hill, and then finally Sophia Allen of Nottingham, so everyone home safely. What a brilliant race. Keegan gold, Clark silver, and bronze for Taylor.
It's the men's 1,500 metres. This is C1.
Heat 1 of 2 in the men's 1500. Slightly different competition format here, in so much that there are 2 heats, but the fastest time will be the BUCS champion. Amanda Keegan, what a swim for gold for her. 5 in the pool for this one. Plenty of empty lanes. Angus Rutherford of Aberdeen goes in lane 2. That's the closest lane to us. Ben Tritton, Surrey. Next to him, David Broadbent in the middle. In lane 4, Sheffield Hallam. Elliot Pickford, Manchester Met in lane 5. Then Alex Crossan Robbins of Stirling in lane 6. So a real tough wait for these swimmers. You could post a personal best, the time of your life. Still have to wait another 15-20 minutes to find out whether it's enough to get you on the podium. Same old story, 1500 metres, 30 lengths of the 50-metre pool. Broadbent in the middle, currently leading, white cap, blue trunks. Swimming for Sheffield Hallam. Again, expecting them to have another tremendous BUCS Championships. As the officials hold up the boards to say 26. He turns in 208.03. So the men's 1500 record was set 2017. Tim Shuttleworth, the man who set it, 15.8.88. Serious swimming. There's only 3 races remaining in this opening session. We've got another 1500 after this, and then the mixed 4x100 relay to close. And we say goodbye for Friday night. 9 o'clock is the first race tomorrow, 9 AM that is. Treat yourself to a late breakfast. I'm saying 9 AM is a late breakfast, like I'm always up at that time in the morning. I'm not, but you know, it's nice to pretend, isn't it? But you can watch swimming pretty much all day with us, so make sure you do. Join us live at the Speedo BUCS Swim Series Long Course Championships 2020. We're live from Ponsforge International Sports Centre, and as I said, still tickets available, so come and join us. Mainly because it's freezing outside and it's lovely and warm in here, to the point where most of us, myself included, have got shorts on. Shorts in February in England, I know. We've got some really good swimmers coming up this weekend as well. World champions, Olympians, Paralympic medalists. All here at BUCS, as well as representation from the brightest and best in the country. So Broadbent still leading us out. This one far from done and dusted though. So you've got Broadbent in 4. Second place, Alex Crossan Robbins, Stirling in lane 2. Ben Tritton, Surrey in 3. Then Angus Rutherford in lane 2. In 4th place, Elliot Pickford, Manchester Met in 5th. But again, all of them within sight, all of them within touching distance. It's quite a long way to travel for Elliot Pickford in lane 5, but stranger things have happened. No change at the top then. David Broadbent, 6:07.2. Rutherford. Alex Crosland-Robbins, first, second and third. But remember, a victory here is not a guarantee of a medal on the podium. 18 lengths to go. Still getting my head around the big football news, to be honest. Get in touch, let us know. Do you think they'll win the appeal? Very interesting. Now, second and third, just starting to turn the screw a little bit on our leader. And in fact, Angus Rutherford of Aberdeen turns off the wall in first place. He's just edged himself in front, look, 0.23 of a second. Rutherford first, Broadbent second. We really have had some good 1500 metre racing. It's not always the case. Sometimes we get a runaway leader. And it becomes quite a difficult watch. There's the 1500, still not quite halfway there. We will be at the next turn. The leader's pretty much around, what, 17-minute pace at the moment? Respectful 1500. Next time you head to your local pool, you do 1500, start the clock, see how you get on. Unless it's a short course pool, you probably get dizzy. Turn after turn after turn when you're only doing the 25 metres. Rutherford though pacing this one very nicely indeed. He's come all the way up from fourth place to now lead. And a really leader, Broadbent. Yes, maybe slipping into third place as Alex Crosland-Robbins in lane 6 of Sterling starts to come through. Looking down at heat number 2. Plenty of powerhouse clubs in there, 2 Loughborough swimmers, 2 Bath, Cambridge, Stirling, Manchester, Glasgow, Hallam. So Broadbent, the eldest of the competitors. It's the ripe old age of 23. Everyone else still in their teens. Tritton, Pickford, Crosland-Robbins, all 18. Rutherford, 19. In fact, Broadbent is 21, not 23. Asterios Dodgianis, the Loughborough swimmer in lane 5 in heat 2. Goodness me, he is ancient. 22 years of age. Must be creaking. That's 10 minutes gone then. And 1500 freestyle. Heat number 1 in the men's, 12 lengths to go, or 600 metres to you and I. And now Broadbent, looking like he's starting to struggle with the pace of Angus Rutherford. He was the pacemaker early on. Rutherford very consistent with his stroke. 2, then a breath under the right shoulder before powering that right arm through again. And 2/3 of the way there. He just about trenches the judge in lane 2 with that tumble turn. Alex Crosland-Robbins of Sterling though, is he slowly eating away at the lead? Difficult to tell. Looks pretty comfortable out there.
Remember, they are going for the win in the
In
race.
lane 4, David Broadbent, perhaps the most diminutive of the swimmers.
First race, get themselves
The fastest cadence as well. Very difficult to maintain that over 1500 metres, using a lot more energy.
1500 is a strange race. So as you can get bogged down in swimming the race and maybe not swimming the time.
Just a reminder, this is essentially a time trial.
It will be declared for the system.
And sometimes you can see the swimmers around you and start to think about the race itself and not the time.
And the rest, they need one.
Particularly when you've got quite a frantic action like David Broadbent. Obviously got a good engine, strong swimmer. A more relaxed style of Rutherford, that consistency. So keep your eye on him now, because it's very consistent on the down length, breathing under that right shoulder. Now he's changed that. He's putting the power down with the left. And it is quite a healthy lead he's got now. 3.6 seconds over Crossland Robbins and nearly a second again over Broadbent. And yes, so up lengths under the left shoulder, down lengths under the right shoulder. In lane 3, Ben Tritton down there in 4th place, just swimming his own race, no one really around him. And also Elliot Pickford, Manchester Met, in lane 5. That's 35 metres behind the leader now, who's got 300 metres to go. It's going to take a heck of an effort now from Crossland Robbins or from Broadbent if they're going to catch our leader, Angus Rutherford, Aberdeen. Been in control of this race for, well, 700 or 800 metres now. .250 metres to go for the leader. Now 250 metres to go for second or third. So Crossland Robbins losing about a second, just under a second every 100 metres now. So unless he has got a serious kick, then Angus Rutherford will be taking home heat number 1 and setting us our benchmark time. Now he's got 4 lengths to go, 200 metres to go. They'll hear the whistles in 100 metres time. But now just needs to kick on. I don't think it's going to be a time that's going to bother the medals. So think about our record time that I was telling you about. 15 minutes have gone, and I'll tell you when the record holder, Tim Shuttleworth, back in 2017, he finished the race. Now, what an effort that is. See how good this swim has been from Angus Rutherford. Shuttleworth was de facto 160 metres quicker. Absolutely staggering effort from the left man. Now the whistles are ready. Starts to sound like a night out in Ibiza soon. When they're all close, it gets crazy. There we go, couple going at the same time. Angus Rutherford leading with 75 metres to go. It's been the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for what seems like 10 or 12 minutes. But a big effort coming on here from Broadbent, who's reeled in Crossland Robbins. He wants a strong finish. Now those fast strokes really come into play. What sort of time can he put in? Rutherford turns, 50 metres to go for the leader. The man from Aberdeen is going to set the time that they're all going to have to beat if they want the gold medal. here in Ponds Forge. Great battle for second place as well. Broadbent, after looking down and out at the halfway point, has reeled Crossland Robbins in. They're now going to power through for second place. But Angus Rutherford is going to set the benchmark time. What will that time be? Angus Rutherford stops the clock in. Well, we're going to have to wait. After all of that, aha, Angus Rutherford doesn't stop the clock at all. What we do know is Broadbent finishes second in 16:58.58. There we go, 16:52.97 is the lead time. Angus Rutherford sets the benchmark, 16:52.97. He takes heat number 1 from Broadbent. Crossland Robbins second, Tritton third. No, Crossland Robbins third, Tritton fourth, Pickford sixth. That's heat 1 done, heat 2 to come.
Now it's heat 1. Still just waiting on the official confirmed results from heat 1, so do bear with us. Heat 2 will be on the way very shortly. Official results are in. Here comes heat 2.
Heat number 2 then, the penultimate race of the evening. Full house, all 10 lanes. If you want a medal, you're going to have to go quicker than 16:52.97, especially if you want it to be gold. So in lane 0, closest to us, we have Ryan Huddard of Derby, Jacques Boncel, Cambridge in 1. In 2, Charlie Poole, Stirling. Max Murphy of Loughborough goes in 3. Luke Turley of Bath in 4. Asterios Dodogiannis, Loughborough in 5. Will Riley of Bath in lane 6. Bailey Haresine of Manchester in 7. Marshall Illingworth, Glasgow in 8. Michael Rosenfeld of Sheffield Hallam goes in lane 9. Riley, the early pace setter, and then Luke Turley, the only man to turn the first 100 metres in under a minute. 58.83 for Riley, 59.85 for Turley. Just ahead of Dodogiannis of Loughborough, and Max Murphy of Loughborough, and Bailey Haresine of Manchester. They're all under 1 minute and 1 second. Riley really pushing the pace as well. He's under 30 seconds per 50 metres at the moment. But that is pretty hot. I'll be surprised if he can maintain that over the 1500 metres. And in fact, that pace just slightly drops off now, as Riley goes through 202 minutes, 0.92. He's certainly pushing the pace in the group though. Perhaps hoping that they will spot him and maybe empty the tanks a little bit sooner. Obviously backs himself in terms of the lungs, does Will Riley. Dodogiannis and Turley in 4 and 5, the two attempting to go with him. No change at the top. Bath, Loughborough, Bath, 1, 2 and 3. Loughborough 4. Everyone else just holding on, really. This heat number 2. You would expect gold, silver and bronze to come from this heat. Young Angus Rutherford, though, 16.52.97. He's given himself half a chance. Tough race, the 1500. Fine line between racing your own race, you know exactly how fast you can go. You and your coach will have worked out tactics, techniques. But then you put swimmers either side of you, you realise that you're in a race, and that racer's instinct kicks in. You've got to make sure there's enough in the tank. So a brilliant example of that earlier on, Amber Keegan from Sheffield. She went shoulder to shoulder with Em Clark for over 1,000 metres. With 200 metres to go, looked like Clark had got the better of her. Then Keegan just put the hammer down, took it away from her, took 3 seconds out of her in 100 metres, and took the gold medal.
A reminder, 16:52.97 is the time they must be inside to win themselves a medal.
So Will Riley
goes in 0 and 1. Jack Bonsell from Cambridge. 2.
No one really knocking on the door of Will Riley at the moment, but Luke Turley looks very comfortable. He's currently there in second place. Stereos Daldogianis of Loughborough. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Doesn't look a lot like Max Murphy. He's going to cause them too many problems. So with 18 lengths to go, maybe we already know who first, second and third are, but do we know the order just yet?
The quickest start has been made in lane 4. That is Luke Turley. Being watched eagle-eyed by his coach from the pool deck. At the moment with William Riley and Luke Turley.
Now here comes Luke Turley. He's taking some time out of Will Riley here. Riley went out quickly. We're not quite at the halfway point here. When they reach the top of the pool, this will be the halfway point. So 7:16 on the clock. I mean, they are well on to overtake the time set by Angus Rutherford. I don't think that record time is going to be in danger. That 15:08.88 set by Tim Shuttleworth back in 2017. But that's Luke Turley is reeling in his teammate here. Make no mistake. What's the gap now? 1.5 seconds. Oh, Turley's got the bit between his teeth. Daldogianis has slipped down on Turley, but he could be gaining on Riley as well. Are we going to have a Bath 1-2? His blue swim caps with the gold writing, those famous Bath University Team Bath colours. Daldogianis all of a sudden swimming his own race, because it is Riley and Turley. Well, as close to shoulder as they've been. They've got a lane rope in between them, but it will not be long until Turley hunts Riley down. That gap that was 4 seconds at one point could well be eroded by the time we get to the top of the pool. And with Turley kicking on, does Daldogianis fancy reeling Riley in as well? Still lots of swimming to come here. They'll get the 12 lengths board next. So that'll be 600 meters to go. What's that? 3/5. And I've just been handed a custard cream. What a life. Let it never be said that we're not decadent here at the Speedo BUCS Swim Series Long Course Championships. Now the lead does change for the first time since the first length. Luke Turley goes ahead of William Riley, as predicted 6 lengths ago by stadium announcer Stephen Jameson. This very nice from Turley. Now what's the gap with Daldergianis? It was 3.8, 4.83 now, so he's still losing time. Riley still doing enough for the silver medal as it stands. Max Murphy in 4th place. He is a long way ahead of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So 16:52.97 for Rutherford. It's not going to get a medal, but it should, and in fact will get him a top 10 into the final 10 lengths. 500 meters to go. Luke Turley looking every inch the BUCS champion. And Daldergianis losing time on Turley, but still there or thereabouts with Riley. There could be more to this silver medal race than meets the eye. Riley did fly out of the gate there. Remember, he was going 30 seconds per 100 metres for the opening 2, and it did take Turley a little while to reel him in. Yeah, Riley still doing enough to hold off Daldergianis. I don't think there's going to be any change at the top now. It is going to be Bath, Loughborough. Still one medal race to come. 4x100 mixed relay. What a way to end day one. Love a relay. I think everyone loves a relay, don't they? To Turley, taking it home now. 11:30.20. Well, maybe Daldergianis is closing in. So what's that? 3.6 seconds? I mean, to the naked eye, there's about the same gap between 2nd and 3rd as there is between 1st and 2nd, and there's still 350 metres of this race to go. Luke Turley, 12:01.64, great swimming. And these will be Bath's first 2 medals of the championships as well. Sheffield with 1 gold, Loughborough with 1 silver, Strathclyde with 1 bronze. Bath would go top of the medals table with this championship in its fledgling phases. 300 metres to go for the leader. So a bit of a rundown of what's happening behind them. Turley taking this one home, a very impressive lead now on Riley. He was over 4 seconds behind at one point. He's over 4 seconds up now. But Riley doing enough to hold off Daldergianis of Loughborough, who are looking to pick up their 2nd medal of the championships. Behind them, we've got Max Murphy in 4th, Jacques Boncel in 5th, Charlie Poole of Stirling in 6th, in 7th place in lane 7, Bailey Hairsign of Manchester, in 8th place in lane 0, Derby's Ryan Huddard, in 9th place in lane 8, Marshall Illingworth of Glasgow, and then Michael Rosenfeld of Sheffield Hallam is in 10th place. Four lengths to go then for the champion-elect. And he just looks like he's getting stronger and stronger. What's the lead going to be here? Oh, 6 seconds. What a swim from that man. Daldergianis turns Riley's actually taken a bit more time out of him, so he's got nearly a 5-second bumper. And I thought at one point like he could well have been leaving with the gold medal around his neck, looking more and more now like it's going to be silver. Highly unlikely that it's going to be bronze, because Luke Turley and William Riley are going to take gold and silver for Bath. They'll hear the whistles this time. Up come the judges. Starts to sound like Darude has just dropped Sandstorm into club. And the first to hear those whistles, Luke Turley turns in 14:37.82. 7.19 seconds ahead of Riley. And then Daldogianis in 12.5 seconds behind the leader as the clock ticks towards 15 minutes. Remember, 16:52 is the time to beat. Very surprised if these three don't, but it might be touch and go in lane 5, you know, for Daldogianis. No, he's going to do it in that minute, surely. Surely he is. So 25 metres to go for Luke Turley. Paced this beautifully. Reeled in his teammate Will Riley. And from about 1,000 metres, there has only been one winner. The gold medal goes to Luke Turley of Bath. It's Bath's first gold of the championship, and 15:38.0 is the time. What a performance from him. Gold for Bath, silver for Bath, and Loughborough pick up their second medal of the championships as Daldogianis picks up the bronze comfortably under the 16-minute mark. So Bath, Loughborough. Max Murphy, 16:14, is in 4th place. And then Jacques Boncel, 16:21, is in 5th. And a long, hard swim coming to an end in lane 2 for Charlie Poole. And then Bailey Haresign of Manchester. Then in lane 0 we have Ryan Huddard. Stopping the clock in lane 8, Marshall Illingworth. And then Michael Rosenfeld of Sheffield Hallam will come in under 17 minutes. And that is the end of the 1500. Joy for Bath as Luke Turley takes the gold, William Riley the silver, and Daldogianis of Loughborough picks up the bronze. Next up, the last race of the evening, the mixed 4x1 medley.
Next week starts the meet for Bath University. Our first final is just moments away. Hope you're ready, ladies and gents, for our first final of the meet. On its way in a few moments' time.
Well, don't go anywhere. We still have one race to come. It is the final of the mixed 4x100 relay. Already 2 gold medals decided. Sheffield have picked up one of them. Bath have also picked up one. And so Bath sit top of the medal table with 1 gold, 1 silver. Then Sheffield with 1 gold. Then Loughborough with 1 silver, 1 bronze. And Strathclyde with 1 bronze, who will be adding to their total here on day 1 of the Speedo BUCS Swim Series Long Course Championships here at the Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. Thank you so much for joining us. as the swimmers make their way to the blocks. Leeds in 0, Stirling in 1, Manchester Met in 2, Nottingham in 3, Edinburgh in 4, Loughborough 5, Sheffield Hallam 6, Bath 7, Leeds Beckett 8 and Glasgow in lane 9. A full house. These have all qualified already today. Loughborough are the record holders. They set it last year. 350.19 is the record. Goodness me, that's quick.
This is the next 400 metres medley relay.
Away we go then, in lane 0, closest to us, Hannah Seymour starts for Leeds. It's Sam Peace for Stirling in 1, Billy Dewhurst, Manchester Met in 2, Michael Rees, Nottingham 3, Scott Gibson, Edinburgh 4, Luke Greenbank, Loughborough in 5, Charlie Brown, Hallam in 6, Philippos Yakovidis, Bath in 7, in 8 it's Jacob Carrington for Leeds Beckett, and in lane 9, Keir Edgar of Glasgow. Good start in lane 5 from Loughborough, Luke Greenbank leading them out on the opening length. 26.91, it's quick as well from Sheffield Hallam, and then Edinburgh in 4th place. So Bath in lane 7, currently in 4th place, looking for their 2nd gold medal of these championships, but it is Luke Greenbank of Loughborough who is going to lead after the first 100 metres. Archie Goodburn takes over. He's first into the pool, and then Ollie Crosby of Sheffield Hallam pops up. Great pool entrance from that man. Then in lane 4, Nicholas Quinn takes over for Edinburgh, but it's Loughborough leading after 75 metres. Archie Goodburn in the black cap and the black shorts, looking to give the lead to his team in lane 5. Loughborough finishing with 2 female swimmers, Marie Wattle and Candice Hall, but they are 2 good swimmers to hand over to. Both will be expecting a hatful of gold medals at the end of these championships. Ollie Crosby, Sheffield Hallam, swimming a very good breaststroke here in lane 6, as is lane 4's Nicholas Quinn of Edinburgh. Here in lane 1, we've got Craig Benson of Stirling in the blue cap trying to hang on. They've got Kiana McInnes to come in the next length, but it is going to be Loughborough. They led after the first leg. They're going to lead after the second, and Marie Wattle is going to enter the pool to swim the butterfly and to try and increase the lead. She is the short course record holder for BUCS. She set that in this BUCS swim series in late 2019, and she's going to attack the butterfly not just in this mixed relay, but in the individual event as well, and she has taken it away from the field. It's Tane Bruce for Edinburgh in 2nd place. Then the battle for 3rd is Mel Hall for Sheffield Hallam, but going well in lane 1, Kiana McInnes from Stirling, but it is Wattle in lane 5. Make no mistake, Loughborough pulling away from the rest of the field. Remember that record time, 350.19. Will that be in trouble in 125 metres time? 1 swimmer remaining for each team. It'll be Candice Hall for Loughborough, Sophie Barker for Hallam, Henry Reynolds for Nottingham, Lucy Hope for Edinburgh, but I think Nottingham have got too much pool to cover, even though they've tried to stack their team with men at the end. Here come Loughborough then. The final 100 metres. Candice Hall is in the pool. It's a big gap, 3.59 seconds over Edinburgh. Handed over to Lucy Hope. Hope trying to reel in Candice Hall, but she's got too much work to do. Sophia Altoft in lane 1 is looking to take the bronze for Stirling. This is going to be quite the race here in 4 and 5. Candice Hall has the lead. It was, 3.59 seconds. It's 2.73 here. Lucy Hope has eaten up sun time. Can she eat some more? It's 25 metres to hold on for Loughborough for their first gold medal of these championships. They've got 10 seconds to break the record. Don't think they're going to get there. Are they even going to take the gold at all? Candice Hall for Loughborough. Lucy Hope for Edinburgh. She's going to run out of pool, and Loughborough are going to take the gold medal. Their first gold medal of the championships. Their third medal overall. It is Loughborough from Edinburgh. Then the bronze medal goes to Stirling. Sophia Altoft takes it in the end. Great race from them. But those two middle lanes really coming up with the goods. A fabulous final and a great way to end day one as Loughborough take gold, Edinburgh take silver, and Stirling take bronze in the mixed 4x100 relay. Well, Leeds touch back in 4:24.46, and that completes the day's racing. And there'll be no medal ceremony. They'll all be done tomorrow. So congratulations to Loughborough, who finished the day with the gold medal. What a race. Edinburgh pick up their first medal of the championships, as do Stirling. We'll be back tomorrow. The first race is at 9 o'clock. Join us then. In the meantime, let's take this opportunity one more time to thank Speedo for their support of the Speedo BUCS Swim Series 2020. We'll see you tomorrow.